You'll never struggle for key resources like steel springs, magnets, batteries, wires or oil ever again with this 5-minute farming route on Stella Montis. Since I started running this exact route, I've accumulated so many of these general purpose items that I can now craft practically any item I need whenever I need it. If you're not too familiar with Stella Montis, don't worry, as I'm going to show you all the best ways to navigate from common spawn points to the start of the route and the fastest ways back to Speranza, keeping any arc and raider engagements to an absolute minimum. Before we get started, let me show you the typical loadout that I like to use for this. I like the Loadout Mark III survival augment as it lets me use a medium shield and provides a good amount of weight capacity and backpack slots to maximise all the looting potential. Of course, we have the medium shield, some herbal bandages, shield rechargers and adrenaline shots, as well as a raider hatch key, as we'll be carrying this out on a regular map condition to maximise the chances of getting the items that we really need. When it comes to guns, I like the El Toro level 4 as a lot of this route is pretty close quarters, but you can use basically any gun you feel comfortable with. At the end of the video, I will show you all the loot that I found across 5 runs, which took me less than 28 minutes in total, so make sure you hang around for that. Okay, so I've spawned in to Stella Montis here at assembly line, and we're 3 minutes into the game. The best thing I can do here, since we want to get down to the east side of loading bay, is just go straight down this corridor here, but obviously there's a turret there. Since I only have a shotgun, I just need to be slightly careful in how I navigate around this area. So someone's having a bit of bother there with the shredder, so I'm going to just run down the assembly line. We'll come in this door into the central corridor, take a left, take the next right. And right here is going to be the start of the run. So no one's opened this door yet, so we know we're pretty safe here. These 2 containers are going to be the very start. Open it up. Polluted air filter is going to give us oil. Industrial chargers, they only recycle to give you voltage converters. I don't use, I think it's heavy shields or showstoppers really, so I never bother to pick them up. Coolant gives us oil for our explosive compounds. And this staff room here is going to have a bunch of red lockers. It's a really high traffic area, this bit in particular, but a lot of people come in and they're only really looking for like blueprints and other valuable pink items. If we come in here and we pick out all these like rusted tools and coolants, even if these lockers have been opened, there's a high chance that a lot of these items have been left. The crew explosives are good for, again, creating explosive compounds alongside our oil. And rusted tools are always a good thing to take for the springs. We have a broken handheld radio there. I think that gives us sensors if I remember correctly. So I always like to pick them up because they are useful to have.
Hello, Raider.
I'm going to check this little black box. Explosive compounds. Unusable weapons are so underrated. I often see them lying around, and if you recycle them, it's going to give you 5 simple gun parts, which is absolutely huge. So my point's kind of been proven with the guy who's just gone into the staff room there. He has looted these drawers out here, but he's been leaving the steel springs in there because either he doesn't need them or he just doesn't really know how useful they can be. We've just took the motor there. That's another thing that can be recycled for oil and our explosive compounds, so we're definitely taking that alongside these water pumps. More springs, which is absolutely fantastic. And we got a spring from our skill tree as well for breaching that container, which is always helpful. Rusted tools, more springs, and we've got a broken taser for 2 batteries. I'm going to close this door because I don't really want this guy following me down. This can be breached sometimes, but not this game. I'm going to jump down to the zip that takes us to the west side of loading bay. We'll take an industrial battery because that's going to give us 2 more batteries for our medium shields. Jump back up here. And this little area back here is going to be the last bit that we check. Worth checking all these boxes. Sometimes it's this one, sometimes it's the other ones that can be breached. Power cable is going to give us more wires. We'll jump over here and just check all these last shelves in the shipping containers. Turbo pumps, more oil. Rusted tools, more springs. Polluted air filter, more oil. Magnets and crude explosives for our venators and things like that. We've got another industrial battery for batteries and a cooling coil for more springs. Don't need the water filter, but we do take the water pumps. And we also take the industrial magnet there too. So last two little bits of loot here. Some more crude explosives, simple gun part, and a polluted air filter. Take the simple gun parts all day every day. And then we're going to take the fastest route out of here, which is down the zip to the bottom of loading bay. Jump out, take a left. Take another left through this zigzag room. Up the stairs on the right. Just be careful because there is a shredder spawn here. And then if you have a hatch key, we're going to open this and go down there. If you don't have a hatch key, you follow that corridor down. And about 100 to 200 meters, you'll find the seed vault air shaft. So that whole raid took us 5 minutes and 33 seconds. And look at all this loot that we've got. So the best rule of thumb is anything green can probably get left. If you have any gun parts, depending on whether you need them or not, either keep them or recycle them. Explosive compounds, you want to keep them in their form because that's something that you want to craft, so we don't want to be recycling them down. And then everything else, unless you want to keep them in their compact form for storing, for example, can be recycled. So polluted air filters, coolants, rusted tools, the unusable weapon, the pumps, the motor, cable, industrial batteries, broken tasers, cooling coil, and industrial magnets. They can all get broken down. So in just 5 minutes and 33 seconds, we've already managed to find all of these resources in order to craft other items. Now I'm still going to show you everything you can expect from around 5 runs towards the end of the video, but first I want to run over some alternative routes to the looting point and back out of Stella Montis in case you're not familiar with the map. This is a very similar spawn to what we had previously, where we spawned all the way up at the top there. So very simply, if you spawn here, you're just going to run straight across and we're going to follow this little area straight through. Come up these stairs and you'll find yourself at the start of the looting route. Another possible spawn is just on the north side of security. So if you spawn here, you're just going to run out, get out into the main area. And this exact route also applies if you happen to spawn just up there. You can just drop down here. You're going to head down towards the train station on the west side. Come down and through this little shortcut here. Now, as we already know, there is some spawns up at the assembly area, so that can be a little bit more dangerous. I like to just come up the ladders, and this is going to be us exactly where we need to be. We'll come through this corridor that we've seen before, and that's going to be the start of our route. Another common spawn area is in medical. Sometimes you'll spawn in this room right here. You'll come out, you'll see that you're in medical. There is also spawns just down on the bottom, over by that scavengeable turret I've just pinged, just down here. Now if you spawn in here, the best way to get back out is to come up and down this corridor. We're going to follow this to assembly, and this is going to link up where we've seen the shredder previously. So we're now into assembly, and this is the main corridor here. And from here, we can just follow it down where we've come previously. We'll take a right just here. And here we are, back at the start of the looting route again. So if you spawn and you open up your map and you see that actually you're on the bottom side of the map, so the lower side of the map at the western tunnels, the best thing you could possibly do is put a ping in on the east side of the loading bay here. And sometimes you'll spawn down at Seed Vault. You just want to follow this all the way down. This is the raider hatch we've used to extract before. And from there you can navigate to where you need to be. If you spawn in any of the areas over here, or in this western tunnel here, you just want to ping this up, follow the train tracks back around, and once you get to the bottom here, just be careful of the bastion if it hasn't been killed already. We'll come back up the side that we want to loot, and the easiest way to get back up is just all the way along to the zips. We'll jump back up here. Okay, so say you've finished doing the looting run and maybe there's a lot of action that you can hear down at the sandbox hatch and you don't want to risk going down here. So where else can you go? The easiest place that I recommend going if you have a raider hatch key is over at the assembly hatch. So we're going to go all the way up the corridor that we've just looted, straight down into the central corridor. Now you do need to be a little bit more careful if your lobbies aren't too friendly, as you will be a little bit more vulnerable here as you climb up. We're going to go through the gap in the railings, come over to this other side here, we'll jump up, and that's us back to Speranza. Okay, so say you've finished your looting route again, but this time you don't have a raider hatch key, so you can't go to the sandbox hatch, and maybe the seed vault air shaft down that following route is already closed, and you can't go to the assembly raider hatch. Well, there is a metro station just beneath you in loading bay, so we can go downstairs from the zip, and the best way across is honestly just to run straight across this bridge. Be careful of bastions and other players. We can also go down there, but there is a shredder spawn down there, so you just want to run all the way across, and we'll go down into the metro station and we'll get a safe extract. If you get down here and you realise that the loading bay metro station is closed, the best thing to do is stay low and just follow the tracks all the way around to the security lobby metro. So if you follow these tracks all the way through the western tunnel, we're going to eventually end up exactly where we need to be in the security lobby. And that's going to be all of your main extraction points for that specific loot route. So I completed 5 runs and I tracked all the items that I got from each one, and after recycling and sorting out my inventory, this is all of the items, or the majority of the important items that I actually came in to get, and the quantities that I got of them. So I did 5 runs, it took me less than 28 minutes. I have 60 springs, 45 magnets, almost 45 wires, over 100 oil, just over 30 batteries, and 27 simple gun parts. So if you consider all of that was done in less than 28 minutes, this general purpose looting run is absolutely perfect. It's the sweet spot that gets all of the materials that you need without really too much effort. So try this for yourself. If you found the video useful, leave a like and subscribe for more, because there's definitely going to be more coming. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next one.